y'all. Oh, let's get this camera going. Oh, like I'm all in y'all face. Hold on, let me back this up a little bit. There we go. Hey, y'all. It's your girl. Let me make sure. Oh, yes. What's up, y'all? Hey, y'all. It is your girl. And I promised y'all this morning that I would give y'all 12 minutes live. And why did I do that? Because, like I said this morning, they say that it only takes 12 minutes for someone that needs a friend to talk to get something off their chest. So I said, you know what? I'm going to come up in here and I'm going to give y'all 12 minutes. If y'all got something on y'all chest, get rid of that mess. So this morning it was coffee and communication. I went through the 5 communication styles this morning. And that was this morning. And then I did breakfast and boundaries when I went over boundary setting, and not just any boundaries, y'all, because yes, everybody now, boundaries are big. Everybody wants to talk about boundaries, and boundaries are good if you guys know what you're doing. So if you are new to me, hold on, let me start the 12 minutes, because again, I'm gonna give y'all 12 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 12 minutes. Oops, something fell over there. 12 minutes starting now. All right, when y'all. The timer ends, you can say, Siri, stop. Okay, Siri, thank you. So we're gonna start our 12 minutes, y'all. So anyway, let's talk about boundaries. It's not breakfast time, but we will talk about boundaries. If you are joining me, type in the chat. If you are new, type in hashtag tips. Why? Because, oh, look, I don't even have my notebook for me. But because I want you to go ahead and walk away with some tips that I got going on here. But if you are an OG, you already know. Type in the chat hashtag sips. Why? Because I want you to sip with your girl and let me know what you're sipping on. All right. So, anyway, boundaries. Let's get into boundaries while we have our 12 minutes of talk. So, here's how this 12-minute goes. Talk to me, I'll talk back. We are here for 12 minutes to talk about anything. Tell me how you're feeling. It's been a lot going on. We are only 17, 18 days into, I don't even know what today is. We are only, I still don't know, however many days into the year, and things have been happening, y'all. It has been cracking. So, how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling? And if you want to just talk about what is bothering you, you got something on your chest, get rid of that mess. I'm going to tell you what's bothering me right now. Like I said, is boundaries. This thing about boundaries, I want everybody to have boundaries, but I want people to understand that boundaries are for you. Boundaries are your boundaries. So do not make them demands for the other person. A lot of people now that, yes, I love that everybody are thinking about boundaries right now. Whoop, whoop. Everybody wants boundaries, but they only think about boundaries when it comes to an intimate relationship, when they are dating or when they're trying to get to know somebody. That is when someone's all of a sudden wants to come up with all these boundaries. But when they're not properly set, when they're not properly thought about with the proper tools, boundaries comes off as demands on how you want somebody to treat you, and they only come out when someone does something that you do not like, and it's like, oh, you crossed my boundary, you just crossed my boundary. It's like, well, hold on, when did that boundary happen? When did you have that boundary? All right, so here's what I want people to do when they are thinking about their boundaries. Set them without another person in mind, because they are for you. You know what I mean? So for me, for an example, because I'm gonna have to give you and the guys an example, because you guys are what? Like, my boundaries are my boundaries, they're mine. Yes, yes. Like, no. So for an example, one of my boundaries is aggression and yelling. When you get there, you're crossing one of my boundaries. That is for me. That is across the board. That is not just when Jim come into the picture and I'm like, oh, you crossing about. No, though, that is for Jim, Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky, Mike, Chris, Mark, Red, Dave, Ro. That is for everybody across the board, okay? Because that is my boundary. So that is what I mean by make sure it is for you. All right, not for Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, or Mike, Chris, Mark, Red, Dave, Ro. Now, yes, we are going to use them if in the event, right? Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky, Mike, Chris, Mark, Red, Dave, Ro are, they are all crossing your boundaries. But again, you can't allow Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike to be aggressive and yell and cross your boundary. But when it comes to Chris, Mark, Red, Dave, Ro, then that's not you see where I'm going with this, y'all. So that is one thing that I want people to understand about boundaries when they are setting the boundaries. That is number one. On the flip side of the boundary setting, I want to talk to the boundary set receivers. Y'all know I'm gonna make up something all day, okay? I'm talking to the ones on the other end of it. I am talking about the ones that are crossing the boundaries. Let me tell you something. Respect people's boundaries. Let's go there. Respect people's boundaries. Yes, I said it twice because you cannot go against others people's boundaries. If they have their boundaries and they are telling you, do not fight them on their boundaries. Do not tell them that their boundaries are crazy just because they are not the same as your boundaries. Respect other people's boundaries and do not try to change, shift, swiggle, jiggle, or none of that with their boundaries. All right. And then what I want you to do while you're respecting their boundaries is ask yourself about your boundaries. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. How about we do that? So there's two parts to this whole boundary thing that I want people to think about. Is A, setting your boundaries for yourself across the board. They are for you and your boundaries. And then the last one is on the receiving end, respect other people's boundaries. And if you are willing to continue to be in that person's life after they have let you know what their boundaries are, after that, then again, learn how to respect their boundaries and go on with that to create a peaceful connection. All right, like I said, don't fight other people's boundaries. So again, the two parts of it is set your boundaries for you and for yourself across the board for everybody that they're there, because you cannot switch up on your boundaries. When you switch up on your boundaries, you look like a fraud. Nobody's going to take you serious if you switch up on your boundaries too many times, because then they're not your boundaries. Now you're just flip flopping. And like I said, you're tailoring it to every individual that comes into your life. And that's not how boundaries work. That is something different. Those are your expectations for a certain person. Those are how you want the person to treat you, that particular person. And so those are not your boundaries. Again, boundaries has nothing to do with the other person. They are for you and they are going to lead you in your connections in your relationships with everyone else. On the flip side, the person that is receiving the boundaries, again, respect people's boundaries. You do not have to agree with what it is. Do not try to sway them and make them feel like their boundaries are not valid or anything like that. Respect it, move on. And if you want to stay in that person's life, try to get to know, where they stand with their boundaries. Try to get to know how you can respect their boundaries. If you don't understand them, try to understand their boundaries. And because listen, I'm not the one with the whole, oh, treat people like you want to be treated and all that. That's a whole nother thing that we're going to get into. But you want people to respect your boundaries, respect theirs. You don't want anybody to sway your boundaries, then don't try to sway theirs, because then at that way that becomes manipulation. I said it. That become manipulation. And you know what else is bothering me? Talk to me, I'll talk back. Like I said, if you are just joining me, this I got 12 minutes. I saw a post that was circulating around and I reposted it as well that said it only takes 12 minutes for someone to vent, to talk, to whatever it is to make somebody feel better. So I said, I'm going to come up in here and I am going to give you guys 12 minutes. So if you got something on your chest, get rid of that mess. Talk to me, I'll talk back. But while I'm waiting for you to type in the chat to get something off your chest. I'm going to tell you what is boiling my grits right now. What is boiling my keepsake grits right now? Excuse me, is the fact that people are lacking basic empathy right now. I am talking basic empathy with the disasters that are going on. And all right, I'm not going to say forget the disasters because the disasters is a current event. Y'all remember current event back in the days when y'all had to do the assignments and y'all had to clip out. It was due every Friday. Don't act like I was the only one. And no, I'm not dating myself because we should bring them back. We had to clip out the newspapers and we had to present it in a report to our teachers. Look at us now, the current events on social media. Look at that. But remember how with the current events we had to report and do all of that. Well, people are lacking the basic empathy when it comes to the LA fires, and it just sucks because this isn't new. This is who you are, and this natural disaster is something that is hitting people in California, Los Angeles, and in other states. And the amount of love and care that people from other states is giving California, it's amazing. I will say that. But the people that are talking about, oh, they have money, they can rebuild they have other things, and to talk about the people that this. I don't care, money, no money. You guys are lacking the basic empathy. And I talked about this Tipsy Thursday yesterday, but I do want to reiterate it because it seems like it's spreading just as fast as the wildfires, the lack of empathy. So that is boiling my keepsakes grits right now. And I just want people to have more compassion and more thoughts, because if you look around you and where you are sitting right now in your present state, just think about if it was all gone in the flash. Just look around. Like I'm looking around the stoop right now and oh my goodness. You know what I mean? So people are lacking basic empathy. And now I'm not even just talking about in this natural disaster. I am just talking about in relationships, period, in their everyday, lacking the basic empathy when it comes to other people. Everyone is in survival mode today, and that is hurting relationships. I don't even want to go with generation this, generation that. We're not going to get into the whole generation thing because everything is figure outable. Everything can be unlearned and relearned. That's why your girl is here. If you are new to me, let me allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Keepsake. Hey, bars. K to the EEP. Shout out, y'all. I gotta get a little. Hey, in another life, I'm a rapper. Don't even, not even in another life. One of my personal, I'm a rapper, but that's neither here or there. Y'all get those bars later. Up, that's my 12 minutes, y'all. But no, I'm gonna get into this story because I'm not gonna leave y'all just like that. Talk to me, I'll talk back. The 12 minutes was up and I forgot the story that I was going to get into actually. So hey, that is it. I gave y'all 12 minutes. And again, talk to me, I'll talk back. But DM me, type in the comment, join my private groups. I also have a keepsake community podcast drop every Saturday, the keepsake corner. Hey, keep in touch, y'all. All right. I will see y'all next time.